Hello, my name's Michael Frank. I'm Administrative Services Director and Assistant City Manager with the City of Santa Rosa. So this video blog is going to be what is the problem and how do we get here. This is our second video budget blog, and the purpose is to keep the public informed about what's going on with the city's budget problems. The first video blog talked about the budget basics. We primarily discussed the importance of the general fund and also the key concept that not all funds and revenues of the city can be used for any expenditures or any services. And it's a key concept and misunderstanding when we discuss budget issues. This blog, we're going to discuss the size of the budget problem and how we got here. So what is the problem? We're going to focus again on the general fund today, and we're going to talk about the budget problem, which has unfortunately grown from what we originally talked about, which was $10 million annually, to presently about $20 million annually. If you hear the term structural deficit, ongoing deficit, or budget shortfall, they all mean the same thing. What they mean is that the revenues on an ongoing basis are not enough to cover your expenses on an ongoing basis. The two pieces of the graph cross. A question that arises, well, how do we know that there's a problem in the first place? And for those of us in the finance and budget staff, what we do is generally we use historic trends and data to try and project growth or decline in city revenues and expenses for the future. So we look at the past and say, what does that tell us about where we're headed for the future? We've developed a 5-year trending tool that we call our 5-year forecast, and we update it on a quarterly basis, and we bring those updates to the City Council, and we use that to help us plan for the future. In addition, when we do those updates, we share what the assumptions are in that 5-year forecast so that anyone, council members or employees or knowledgeable people in the community, can challenge us on those assumptions and say, you're being too conservative or you're being too optimistic about what the future holds. So how did we get here? Of course, the whole discussion about the forecast begs the question, what have you been doing? How did you get into this situation? And how did it get so bad so quickly? And really the simple answer is that our general fund revenues pretty much fell off a cliff and declined at a rate never seen in the history of our city. Many of us have heard about economic issues in the news. So we have a housing crisis, a credit crisis, a recession, lowest consumer confidence ever, and a decline in Santa Rosa median home value prices from $600,000 to half that, a little over $300,000. All of these factors combined have hit just where the city's general fund gets its revenues. So it's actually not that, and as we talk further, it's not that complex an issue in terms of what is going on right now with the city's budget. I showed a pie chart in a previous blog, which I'll actually put up a slightly different one at this point in time. A little more, at a little higher level. And what you see here is that sales tax and property-related fees and taxes make up almost 2/3 of the revenue in our general fund. So let's start with sales tax. If we just look at sales tax, we've had 9 consecutive quarters of sales tax decline. That is the most in the city's history. 9 consecutive quarters of decline. The national and global, unfortunately, global recession as well at this point, as well as the low consumer confidence, has just pummeled our sales tax. And you've heard that with regard to the auto industry and the problems they're seeing. Well, new car sales make up a portion of our sales tax, and that's just one example where our sales tax is truly being reduced. Now if we move to the property tax side and property-related fees and taxes, they make up 38% of our revenues. So it includes property tax, and for those who don't know, property tax is based on a home's assessed valuation. So when I talked about the median home prices coming down, that directly affects the amount of property tax we receive as a city. In addition, our real property transfer tax is based on valuation as well, and that's assessed when properties change hands, when they're sold or bought. Lastly, this category of property tax and property-related fees includes our development, the development area. Development has come to a virtual standstill, and that's not just happening in Santa Rosa, it's happening throughout the Bay Area and across the country. And so those fees have dropped by over half just in the last couple years. So the problem facing us as a city and as an organization, and personally as a budget staff, trying to provide accurate information to policymakers and decision makers, is we don't know where the bottom is. In other words, we're seeing things with regard to our property taxes, our sales taxes, and development that we have never seen in our city's history. So all this leads us to, well, what are we going to do about the problem? And that will be the focus of the next video blog. And we'll discuss where we're headed, what options are available to go about solving these financial problems. Again, our website is srcity.org. You can go to the Administrative Services Department area of the website to find out additional information and other presentations there. Thank you.